Good morning, family. Welcome to the Afro-Latina Show. I am your host, Alicia Anabel-Santos, La Diosa Dominicana, La Santera. Welcome to episode 188 on boundaries when no means no. I listened to a wonderful podcast yesterday that I just happened to fall into, hosted by Alanis Morissette, on a site called Spreaker.com. And she was interviewing this doctor. Let me see if I wrote the doctor's name down. Pia Melody. And it's a 70-minute show. So if you have a moment and you're cooking or cleaning your house or driving a car, play it because there might be some gems that are useful to you. I wanted to share what jumped out for me, and I'm just going to read some quotes. So one of the things she said was, it's important to protect our sense of true self when we're in certain relationships, and this isn't necessarily a romantic relationship. And then boundaries are only the things we allow in that are appropriate to our health, to the truth of who we are. Boundaries are only the things that we allow in that are appropriate to our health, to the truth of who we are. We'll come back to that. How self-defining setting boundaries can be in the trauma recovery work that I'm doing, bringing me back to a healthy relationality. I see how setting boundaries defines self. My no's say who I am as an artist, as a mom, what my value system is, what my mission is, what I really hold dear. Boundaries aren't just how we get along in a sound box. We are human beings who need each other. It's also an invitation to who are we, our authentic self. I'll leave that there. I thought that was beautiful, right? I could completely relate to how boundaries honors, how setting boundaries or establishing boundaries in my relationships has set the tone for me to live more authentically and more in alignment with who I am and what I want and what I will or will not allow in to my sacred space being my home, my sacred space being my relationship with my daughter and my partner and my family and those I love, and truly what I allow in my body in terms of toxicity and boundaries that people tend to overstep in certain conversations and or what they dump on you. So setting boundaries isn't one thing, it's many things, right? And I'm meditating on how setting boundaries is crucial in relating to people, in particular the people in my life. You know, the people who may not understand why I have pulled away or pulled back or pushed back or established certain boundaries around, you know, when you can call me, what I will allow for you to share with me. Setting boundaries means that I'm not going to get caught up in a lot of the bullshit and a lot of the things that just don't serve me. Like, there are people in my life who are caught up in some of their own things, and sometimes I feel like it can be poisonous, negative, and I'm trying, you know, and this goes completely against what I'm trying to attract and what I want, where I want to reside, where I want to live. You know, it's very easy for me to get pulled back in to the bullshit, to being angry, rage-filled, wanting to fight. because that is someone that lives in me. That has never, doesn't matter what practice I've done and how many years of therapy I've had, and all of the spiritual practice that I do, and the guides that walk with me. I'm a human being living a spiritual experience, and so there are moments where I take the bait. And so it's very important for me to be clear about what it is that I want to be around and who I allow in. And so what are the what's inappropriate to you, right? Where do you draw the line and say, nah, I'm not letting that in. That's really inappropriate. This person is really inappropriate. This line of sharing or dumping. The truth is that we can be in relationships, we can be in conversation with people and spend an hour just listening to them dump, 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 dump every single thing that's going wrong in their life. And have you ever felt exhausted after those conversations? Like, wow, I'm completely drained. I need a nap. I want to go to sleep. This is what we're talking about when we say it's important to establish boundaries. And one of the things that the doctor shared was a technique around protecting yourself, your boundaries. And so if you're in conversation with someone that you know is just dropping some negative shit, shift your body to not face the person on an angle so it doesn't get in. So there are things that we must learn to do to protect ourselves, because setting boundaries is about protecting ourselves, protecting my space, protecting my spirit. And I don't have to tell people, yo, I got to set boundaries when it comes to you. My actions are how I set boundaries. My no's are how I set boundaries. So when I say no, I mean no. Because I know myself enough to know what events or people or experiences I'm going to allow myself to be a part of, because I'm a sponge, I'm an empath. And so I feel everything, I take everything. And so I'm very mindful about where I am, what spaces I roll in, and the people I hang with, you know. Not that we can't love these people who, are dumping on, we can love them. It just has to be everything in moderation and sometimes at a distance. That's how I'm really feeling. And so when you are someone who is doing healing work and you're trying to recover from your own trauma, from your own shit, there's nothing more harmful to our recovery than these people dumping their shit on top of ours. This is why boundaries are important, you know? And so with that, let's meditate, Let's just do a little meditation. We're works in progress, right? Setting boundaries. We can master this by continuing to do it. The more we say no, I'm not going to say the easier it gets, but the more we say no, the better we will feel. You're not missing anything by saying no, because that's the other thing too, right? If we say no, if we're not a part of this thing, we feel left out and not included. I would rather not be included and feel healthy. That's me. Let's breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep breathing calmly. Who are the people that we know we must say no to? What are the areas in our life that we know are important for us to set boundaries on? What is no longer appropriate for us to be around in order for us to heal? How can we set healthy boundaries in order to live more authentically? You can pause this meditation, journal out your answers, meditate on what I asked. Think about what boundaries mean for you and why they're important and why you need them and the fear around them, right? Because there's some fear around boundaries, setting boundaries, that people will misunderstand us. They may not like us. They'll stop loving us. There's fear around setting boundaries. When we start to say no, I believe that we open up ourselves for more yeses, more of what we want. It's saying no to the things that we don't want so we could have more of the things that we do want. So let's look for the ways that the boundaries will serve us well. And when you're ready, come out of meditation. No one is saying that setting boundaries is easy. There are going to be moments where we're going to feel so completely alone. But in that aloneness is where the healing happens. And so that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling more freed, more liberated, I feel like I'm living more authentically with each boundary that I establish in my personal life and my professional life. Because even with my lover, even with my daughter, my mother, my father, my siblings, best friends, acquaintances, students, I have learned to set very clear boundaries on where I give and where I allow them to dump. Like even in class settings, I find myself establishing boundaries in real time when things are not, when there are people who want to dump their stuff on the group, I'm holding space. So even with my students, I'm always holding space. And so even if they don't know how to establish boundaries, I'm going to find ways to set the boundaries for them, because I'm all about protecting all of us, right? And so boundaries are about protecting us, protecting ourselves. And so with that, my dears, that's the end of my diary for today. I'm wishing you a beautiful Saturday morning, and may you find some moments to be alone, to be with your thoughts, and to think about what boundaries you need to establish to feel more authentic and more aligned with your truth and your mission and your purpose for yourself. My intention for today is to create and spend a lot of time home as much as I can. I'm wishing you just a gorgeous day. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to my iTunes, my Soundcloud, my YouTube channel. Leave your comments, your feedback. Email me, info.aliciaanabel@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram, Alicia La Santera and Afro Latina Show. And on Twitter and Tumblr, I am Diosa Dominicana. Have an amazing day. Peace.